Thank you,
We are
thank
your
you, thank you.
That's right.
So Deb, check and see if I am now, and hopefully I introduce everyone to Sacred Soulful Sunday one more time. Can you check?
No, it's not.
What is going on? Hi.
But it says on the corner of her screen that it is.
Yeah, but she's not live on YouTube.
Well,
She's not streaming.
I'm supposedly streaming according to this little device here. I don't know how else to do it. I mean,
Well, just keep going, and we'll just have to post up the
I can
recording.
ask Justin. I'm gonna see if he could figure it out.
okay, you will no longer be able to reconnect. Your stream will stop. See, it's telling me that I am. It's telling me that I'm streaming.
Okay, now it's on. Now it's on. Now you're on.
Okay. Hiya, yeah. All right.
Done.
Here we go. All right. So here we are at Sacred Soulful Sunday. I don't want to start everything from the beginning. Sorry, we had a little technical difficulties, but we are talking today about Ho'oponopono. And I was explaining how this message came in such a powerful way, even though so many other things are going on right now, like the Chinese New Year and the new moon coming in. But Ho'oponopono became the most important message. And I can completely understand why, because when I dived into what Ho'oponopono does, I realized that it's such a powerful modality to understand, and that I actually was very misunderstanding of the phrases that make up Ho'oponopono. Okay? And Ho'oponopono are 4 phrases that you speak in your mind or verbally that are, I'm sorry, please forgive me, I love you, and thank you, or I'm grateful. Okay? So when I used this at one time in a meditation before, and I was listening to a guided meditation with the Ho'oponopono repeated, I believed that these phrases meant one thing. And then as I dived into this lesson this time, I really, really realized that it's not that at all. It is and it isn't, and I'll explain. So the Ho'oponopono concept began in Hawaii, and actually, Maritza, this is going to be interesting to you, has a very similar quality to the constellation process, right? It is an energetic and vibrational clearing that is unspoken from a perspective of you tap into the energy of divinity to help you clear the blockages that have been built up in your conditioning and memory bank, or the Akash, from yourself and your ancestors, including Mother Gaia and all of the lineage that is behind you, which fascinated me, as you know, because I am fascinated by the way that constellations work in the first place. I'm like, how the heck does that happen? So, and when
So you're saying it's like the constellation? It's similar?
Let me explain. Yes, it is similar from a perspective of that's how it began in Hawaii. So they were called, so Ho'oponopono began as a group effort, okay, as a group effort. So you would gather as a group and you would heal by asking and declaring for divine to clear the blockages of your ancestral baggage, as well as your baggage from a perspective of your memories and your conditioning and your traumas and your pains or your shadows. Okay? Which is how healing is anyway, because basically healing is just a coming back into harmony. And Ho'oponopono means making things straight, straightening things up. It's like clearing the misconceptions of, or your distortions about certain things. So let me explain that too. When you have a painful life experience, be it in this life or in a past life, or if your ancestors have had a painful traumatic experience, that energy gets trapped in your energetic field, in the consciousness, and through your lineage, you carry it inside of you. Okay? Now that's deep, it's big, I get it, but bear with me. So as I dived into this process, I started researching a Hawaiian doctor and I have to tell this story the way that it was told in my research, because it's so powerful. Okay? So Dr. Hugh Lin was asked to come in as a doctor. He was a clinical doctor, but he came in as a doctor in Hawaii to be the warden or the guardian or doctor on call for a facility for the criminally insane. Okay? Criminally insane. People that were complete dangers to society. We're talking murderers, rapists, the worst of the worst. People that had to be shackled, you know, what you see in the movies of, you know, straitjacket kind of material. But that facility needed to have a doctor on call. So he came in as that doctor on call. And he said, I will come in as the doctor on call as long as I do not have to deal with the patients. Isn't that interesting? So I don't want to deal with the patients, but I will be there as the doctor on call. But he decided that he was going to use Ho'oponopono and what he knew, being himself a Hawaiian heritage, Ho'oponopono, to try and heal these patients or these inmates, whichever one you want to call it, patients, inmates, whatever connotation you want to have. So how did he do it? What did he do? He would take each file of each individual in his office, and he would focus on the feeling of what he felt while he was reading the patient or inmate's file. And you're talking some heavy duty stuff. You're talking people that were supposedly unreformable or unrehabilitatable, right? And he would do the Ho'oponopono. He would say, I'm sorry, forgive me, I love you, and thank you. Now, those phrases, I'm going to dive deeper into each one so that you understand how he was tackling this problem. He would sit with the emotion that was inside of him, because just so that you guys know, as a fact, we cannot change anyone around us. That's impossible. The only thing that we can change is ourselves. So the Ho'oponopono concept is to get in alignment and release any blockages through the divine, through the magical power of the divine, the mystical power of the divine, coming through you and clearing your memories, conditions, and traumas from within. And if we know the universal rule that is as within, so without, correct? As above, so below. As the universe, so the soul. So when you work on your inside, right? When we do our own shadow work, what happens? Our reality on the exterior shows up differently. And through this process, Dr. Hugh Lin saw miracles. And the miracles began one by one as he did Ho'oponopono in his office on each of these inmates. The inmates got better. They started being able to be removed on their shackles. they started to be able to be normal. So much so that they got to a place where they could be released. And he witnessed a miracle. And this is a true story, guys. This is not some made-up story. So the 4 phrases of Ho'oponopono are, I'm sorry, right? But it's not, I'm sorry as in, the feeling of the I'm sorry is, I'm sorry that I have believed something that is not in alignment with you, divinity, not in alignment with God. Please forgive me for this misunderstanding. Please forgive me for not understanding that we are all one, that there is only unity and there is only love, and that you, in your creative force of love, is all powerful. Then the phrase, I love you, and this is where I was really messed up. Because when you say I love you, you think, oh my God, now I gotta love this person that's done me harm, that I can't stand, that's raped me, that's hurt me, that's abused me, that's whatever. And that's not the way it is. In fact, Florinda had this discussion. Florinda and I had this discussion this week because I thought that doesn't it make sense? And then because when we say, like, I'm going to stop all of you for a moment and I want you to think of someone or some situation that you have had in your life, especially someone, because as you know, we learn through our relationships the most, right? Someone that has hurt you, or some experience that you have had in your life with someone that has hurt you. It's really hard to energetically not feel resistance when you say, I love you to that person. Even though on an intellectual level, right? On an intellectual level and on a soul level, we know that we're all one, right? We know that we are supposed to see the God within everyone. We're supposed to be the loving beings that see the love in the other person, right? This is what as spiritually awakened beings, this is what we are supposed to know, right? This is what we're taught, even in religion. We're like, you're supposed to see the God within the other. But hello, listen, if you're going to say I love you to someone that has really hurt you, that's tough, right? So this is where the switch occurs. It's not I love you to the other person. It's I love you, Creator, Source, Divine Being, for allowing me to learn through this situation. I love Creator in all its creations. I accept it wholly and completely and do not separate myself from that. That's the I love you piece. And then, after you go through the I love you, you have to bless it, which we've talked about this before, blessing a situation from a perspective of God is in all of it, and you say, thank you. Thank you for my life. Thank you for my experience. Thank you for teaching me a new way. Thank you for giving me this opportunity to return to my whole and complete loving self. I'm grateful. Okay? So these 4 words transmute and change the energy from whence it came. In other words, what it was, which is a negative blockage of some sort. It could be shame. It could be guilt. It could be remorse. It could be worry. It could be anxiety. Any kind of disharmony or when you are out of coherence is when you have separated yourself from your loving Creator. And what you are doing is asking for a miracle, really. That's what you're really doing here. You're asking for the miracle of the divine creator to come in and set you straight, which is what Ho'oponopono means. Setting things straight. Now, this is where the connection to me came in with the constellations, because constellations kind of set you straight. Right, Maritza? Constellations, they put things in order. Constellation works on an energetic level through your ancestors to set things straight, because the hierarchy of order is incredibly important.
I was just about to say that. Es jerarquía, pertenencia, es orden, jerarquía, y pertenencia. So, but it's so funny, jerarquía, y pertenencia. I don't know, it's order, hierarchy, and what belongs to you is belong to you.
Yes.
But it's funny because in the Hawaiian, it's funny, you just, a little shower of knowledge just came in, because I studied to be a massage therapist in Hawaii. And in Hawaii, they teach you that every muscle in your body is connected with an emotion. And they used to, and they used to say that until you don't find pohaku, which means pain, is the burden that you carry inside of your organs, on your muscles, you will not be able to heal. And they will say that, I'm sorry they didn't have a Hawaiian Asian translation, because it was a state of being. So in order for us, it's just, I really asked, I even want to cry, because they teach us how to feel that when we do the massages and do the practice. But they teach you the real feeling of love. And I was just asking myself the other day, my daughter asked me, why did you say I love you so much? To everybody. And then I studied for 3 years. But you want to hear something super valuable that everybody should understand and listen to this? Hawaii doesn't carry jails. Jails doesn't exist in Hawaii. And this because they believe in the state of forgiveness and love.
Oh my God. Well, see, now that makes complete sense. That makes complete sense. And that's exactly, oh, wow. I had aha moments too, Maritza, while I was studying this. Because I was like, oh my God, now I get it. I get all of the lessons of vibration and energy are within the power of declaration, of setting things straight from a perspective of forgiveness. It makes perfect sense, right? This is the revelation that I experienced as I was reading about Ho'oponopono. And it makes perfect sense that there would not be a jail. There is only an insanity, a temporary insanity within the human being that has caused them to lose sight of who they really are. And that your energy of forgiveness, love, and the divinity through you can transmute this on the other side. Right? So anything that is a dis-ease, right, physically as well in our bodies, is something that is out of balance or out of harmony, right, with what we truly are. So energetically, to heal it, we have to love it. We have to love it, right? And our first reaction as human beings is like, I don't love that. Forget that. That's not, I can't love that, right? That's our first reaction, is to go there, to go that rabbit hole down. No, I'm not going to love that. But Ho'oponopono says, you love it. You love what it is. You accept it as it comes. You do not resist or block it in any way. And you believe in the miraculous energy of the divinity, of the creator, to work through you to transmute that energy. And by declaring those words, you are using your energy, because the only thing that you can do is correct your own distortions. Your belief systems and your conditioning from your past is within you. And not just you. Your ancestral, as we know, comes with you. So nothing is in vain, nothing is a coincidence, and everything that occurs is an energetic field that is stuck in record, permanent record. Okay? This is like you cannot erase the hard drive. Okay? It's there. So as I dive deeper into this more, I came upon a prayer, and actually Florinda and I had been reading this prayer, and I actually transcribed it, Florinda, the entire prayer, because the prayer actually helps us to see more clearly the underlying theme of the 4 simple phrases. Because I have to say, when you think about it, those 4 phrases are super simple. Super simple. I'm sorry. Forgive me. I love you. Thank you. That's it. And what's really interesting about those 4 phrases is as we repeat them and declare them in our mind, the energy is being transmuted already. However, the deeper you feel into it, so as I was saying before, you can experiment with this with your own, any kind of problem or energetic blockage that you feel in your life currently. It may be around money, which happens to all of us. It may be just around money. So how would you tackle it with money? You would say, I'm sorry for not understanding that money is just an energetic force that needs to be used in our lives for good. Forgive me for this misconception that came from my ancestors and conditioning of the past, when my parents or when my parents' parents felt that there was a lack of abundance and a lack of prosperity. Forgive me. I love you for giving me the opportunity to heal that in my moment in time today. I love you for presenting me with this opportunity to clear not only my own baggage, but also the baggage that has come from my ancestors. And for the future generations that will have a different relationship with money, because they will understand that I released this blockage. Thank you. I'm so grateful for you giving me this chance to be in harmony with you, divinity. You see how that works? You see how those 4 phrases come to work together to clear the blockage around money. And that's just one. So you could do this with money. You can do this with a colleague that you don't get along with. You can do this with any situation that you are experiencing that is causing the contraction, because when you start getting better at feeling your way through this, right, you will start recognizing when you feel contraction. If I ask you right now, okay, think about something that is bothering you right now, something that could have come up. If we just take a breath and think about something that could be causing some sort of discomfort, pain, burden, heaviness, right? That you can also understand is attached to somewhere in your body. As Maritza was saying, and the Hawaiians believe that your muscles, your body, your form attaches to that energetic field, right? So you feel it in your body as contraction. And contraction is not good for us. Expansion and openness, open-heartedness, in other words, when our hearts are wide open, we are in harmony with the loving Creator, correct? So when you feel that blockage, you say, I feel this, I'm sorry, forgive me for misunderstanding it, right? I love you for presenting me this opportunity. I am connected to you and believe that only you can do miracles through me. And then I'm thankful. I am grateful for it. I bless it. In other words, thank you, and being grateful is blessing. So I'm going to read you at least the beginning, and I will post this incredible prayer that is available on YouTube, by the way, and I will share that YouTube connection too, because it's in a loop. It's constant. This prayer repeats and repeats and repeats. But I'm going to read you the first part of it because it is so beautiful that I challenge you to not get like emotional when you hear it. So this is the way it goes. Divine Creator, Father, Mother, Son, all in one. If I, my family, my relatives and ancestors offend your family, relatives, and ancestors in thoughts, facts, or deeds from the beginning of our creation to the present, we ask your forgiveness. Let this clear, purify, release, and cut off all negative memories, blockages, energies, and vibrations. Transmute these undesirable energies into pure light, and so it is. To clear my subconscious of all the emotional charge stored in it, I say over keywords of Ho'oponopono. I'm sorry. Forgive me. I love you. I'm grateful. I declare myself in peace with all the people of the earth and with whom I have outstanding debts. For this moment and in your time, for all that I do not like in my present life, I'm sorry. Forgive me. I love you. I am grateful. I release all those I believe to be receiving damage and mistreatment because they simply give me back what I did to them before. In some past life, I'm sorry. Forgive me. I love you. I'm grateful. Even though it is hard for me to forgive someone, it is me who asks that person all the time for everything I don't like in my present life. I'm sorry. Forgive me. I love you. I'm grateful. For this sacred space that I live day by day and with which I am not comfortable, I am sorry. Forgive me. I love you. I'm grateful. For the difficult relationships to which I only keep bad memories, I'm sorry. Forgive me. I love you. I'm grateful. For all that I do not like in my present life, in my past life, in my work, and what is around me, divinity, cleanse in me what it is that is contributing to my scarcity. I'm sorry. Forgive me. I love you. I'm grateful. If my physical body experiences anxiety, worry, guilt, fear, sadness, pain, pronouncement, and think, my memories, I love you. I am grateful for the opportunity to free you and me. I'm sorry. Forgive me. I love you. I'm grateful. Right now, I say, I love you. I think of my emotional health and that of all my loved ones. I love you. For my needs to learn to wait without anxiety, without fear, I acknowledge my memories here at this moment. I am sorry. Forgive me. I love you. I am grateful. Beloved Mother Earth, who I am, if I, my family, my relatives, and my ancestors mistreat you with my thoughts, words, facts, and actions, from the beginning, beloved Mother Earth, who I am, and my family, my relatives, and ancestors mistreat you, forgive me. Let it clear and purify, release, and cut off all negative memories, blockages, energies, and vibrations. transmute these undesirable energies into pure light. And so it is. In conclusion, I say that this prayer is my door, my contribution to your emotional health, which is the same as mine. So be well. And as you heal, I tell you that I'm so sorry for the memories of pain I share with you. I apologize for joining my path to yours for healing. Thank you for being here in me. I love you for being who you are. And that is the original Ho'oponopono prayer. So you understand where it comes from. And so you understand that the energies of that are in pure love, really. Think in terms of surrender, right? If you're fighting with someone, let's say as simple as two people arguing, or as complex as a massive world war. If one side says, I'm sorry, forgive me, I love you, what happens? What happens? All things stop. All fight stops. If someone says, I surrender, I'm sorry, forgive me. Do you see how powerful that is? Do you see how powerful that is? All we have to do to stop the pain in this life is to say, I'm sorry, forgive me. This, to me, was a revelation. Because anything that comes from the action of attack, of pain, is not in connection with divinity. And if we are divine beings that are powerful, we can understand that when we release that and we say, I'm sorry, forgive me, we release the resistance that causes the anguish in the first place. We give away the burden and we say, this is no longer mine. I am not fighting any longer. Make sense? When I heard the perspective of the Ho'oponopono, it truly was a revelation in me. And I started believing and understanding that nothing can come from the outside in. And it's funny because last Saturday I taught that very same thing in my workshop for Design Enlightenment, coming from a perspective of interior design. I speak all the time about creating interiors from your interior. In other words, finding who you are within and expressing that on the outside is the most satisfying thing that you can have. Not from the outside in, but from the inside out. So it was not surprising to me at all that Ho'oponopono as a concept came in right after that workshop for me. It was almost like the universe saying, B, I think you're onto something here. And this is a lesson that we all must learn. At some point, I hope that humanity gets there. At some point, I hope that we understand that whatever we do to others, we do to ourselves. And that the only thing that you have control over is your own energetic thoughts and vibrations. That you can't change others without changing yourself first. That in every relationship, we must begin from within. And that if we want our reality to show up in a way that is in harmony with love and divinity, that we must first create that alignment within ourselves. And we must first say, I'm sorry, forgive me, I love you, and thank you to ourselves. Nothing can change on the outside without us changing on the inside. This is just a reality. And as we do so, we will see a revolution in our own realities show up, just like Dr. Hugh Lin was able to heal those criminally insane inmates. I really believe this to be true. And I understand it on a very deep level. Whether I am successful at doing this for myself every day, I don't know. I know that I will give it my greatest effort and expect miracles, because miracles are our birthright. We are able to change from the inside out. And we must first become aware of what is going on within ourselves first. So if we are experiencing any negativity or pain or trauma or shadow that is working inside of us, it will by its very nature show up on the exterior world to give us an opportunity to clear it up and straighten it up, like the word Ho'oponopono. I hope that you've really understood this, and I hope that I've been able to bring some clarity to why those 4 phrases are so powerful. I know that it's left me impacted. It's left me impacted. And I say that you give it a shot. What you got to lose? Try using those phrases anytime you're feeling anything that is making you out of balance, out of coherence, especially in this moment in time. I know that a lot of us, at least in my world, I mean, everybody around me has been literally getting the flu, the cold. We're all kind of a little bit out of sorts inside. And I know that it's because of the energies that are coming in to shake us up and get us into a harmony with love. So instead of blaming, complaining, and using our words in a negative way, let's transmute that by using these 4 powerful phrases. Let's make them part of our energetic wheelhouse. Let's make them part of our practice on a daily basis. I'm sorry. Forgive me. I love you. Thank you. Let's get it to a point that it's like a little mantra that we use anytime something comes up that causes us to feel out of balance. Does anybody have any questions or ideas? Has this hit home? Do you understand? Everybody's very quiet today.
Mine is always like, why is it so hard for people to apologize? You know?
I agree,
It
Leslie.
depends on how deep you've been hurt.
Yeah,
Depends how deep that cut is. You know what I mean? So sometimes it just takes a little longer to heal.
I agree.
But that's why the Asian Hawaiian culture doesn't have a translation for it. So instead of like say all of the words, even for us, sometimes it's hard because it's the principle we say, right? Is the reason. I mean, you're kidding me right now. So if we say it's a state of being without receiving an answer, without the apologize back. So Ho'oponopono. And if you breathe 4 times in each syllable of the word, you change your state of being.
Correct.
It's very powerful.
Correct. No, I have to say it is extremely powerful. And especially if you're able to really connect to the feeling, like saying it with emotion, saying it with feeling, it speeds up the process even further. Not that if you just say it, it isn't working already, okay? Just so you understand. If you say it and declare it, it's already working. I want you to know that. But if you say it with deep emotion, you will be able to clear that even faster. And it's really about channeling your energy and straightening it up so that it's not in a distorted manner. Because anything that is, just so you understand, anything that is not in harmony with love is a distortion. You are love. You are light, period. End of story. Okay? That is what you are. So if you are feeling, like Abraham Hicks says this a lot, she says that your emotions, the more negative you feel, that is the more separated you are from what you really are. Your separation energetically from feeling in love and in joy is a direct response to how distorted you are. Okay? And this is within you, not within the other person. You can, for those of us that are not, or we witness it all the time, for those of us that are watching or observing, witnessing those that are not in an awakened state of being, that they spend their life blaming others for the things that occur to them. It's like, particularly people that express narcissistic behaviors, right? That they will say, look what you did to me. How could you? Look how angry you made me, right? It's as if you're responsible for their anger, right? I dealt with that a lot in my first marriage. So I know what that feels like. It's like, what do you mean I made you angry? You're angry because you want to be angry, not because I made you angry, because you couldn't control me. So you have to blame somebody. Ho'oponopono is really about taking full responsibility for you. Full and complete responsibility for you. In a deep understanding that everything that shows up for you is for your good and you created it. This is the real deal. You made it, now you fix it. Right? And that's what these phrases help you do. Yes, Mom?
Okay. Since you were talking about a prayer, I have something that I have hanging in my office. I've had it for ages, and it's by Maya Angelou.
One of my favorites.
It says prayer. It says, Father, Mother, God, thank you for your presence during the hard and mean days, for then we have you to lean upon. Thank you for your presence during the bright and sunny days, for then we can share that which we have with those who have less. And thank you for your presence during the holy days, for then we are able to celebrate you and our families and our friends.
Mm-hmm.
For those who have no voice, we ask you to speak. For those who feel unworthy, we ask you pour your love out in waterfalls of tenderness. For those who live in pain, we ask that you bathe them in the river of your healing. For those who are lonely, we ask you keep them company. For those who are depressed, we ask you shower upon them the light of hope. Dear Creator, you, the book, give all of the world that which we need most, peace.
Peace.
I have this hanging in my office.
It's a beautiful prayer. And
Maya Angelou is excellent. She's fantastic.
She was fantastic. Well, I can tell you, she's I call her one of my silent advanced master mentors from above. I channel her if I can. I agree. Peace. In our hearts, in our heart of hearts, what we really want is peace. And peace comes from within. In reality, Ho'oponopono is a prayer for our own peace, really. It is for us to find the peace within us so that we can see that reflected in the world around us. And it really, really was a revelation for me to understand it on a deeper level and understand that anything that is not in alignment with God can be set straight through God or through divinity or through the divine creator energy that is love. If we start with ourselves, which is all we can do, right? If we start with ourselves, we can change the world. And if Dr. Hugh Lin was able to transmute the energy of criminally insane inmates and one by one heal them through correcting his own beliefs and conditions around them, imagine what we can do for the world. I hope that Ho'oponopono has been as big an aha moment for you as it was for me. And I hope that you integrate this into your lives and remember that everything starts from within. We cannot change the world from the outside in. We can only change the world from the inside out. Thank you, guys.
Billy, would you be able to post that beautiful prayer you just said?
Of course, that's the reason I transcribed it so that we could have it. I'm going to put it on the chat as soon as I'm done here because I find myself, it's really interesting. I'm asleep and I'm dreaming and I'm reciting Ho'oponopono in my dream. It's really been quite interesting for me. I've been find myself sleeping and then lucidly I say, wow, I'm repeating Ho'oponopono in my dream state. And I guess it's because I feel a sense of urgency for us, all of us. This year, we're going to need all the love we can get, all the peace we can get. We're in for a very interesting ride, guys. And it's going to be this way for a while. So we need to be very grounded and we need to start praying a lot. Any form of prayer that you find helpful is important. I feel like I'm like Carolyn Mice, that she says, pray, 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 pray. Yes.
Well, and today being Our Lady of Lourdes, Our Lady of Fatima, that's what her appearance was all about. Telling the world to pray so that we could heal and
Yes.
never have wars again.
Yes, I agree. And I guess I'm channeling what's out there in the universe from a perspective of that message. I'm hearing the message and I'm hoping that I can transform all of you into prayerful people. It's not about religion per se. Each of us has our way of praying. Whatever that is.
Yes, I wanted to clarify that. It's not about religion. It is about intention and, intention, I think it's the right word.
Yes, it is. It's about coming from a perspective that we are connected deeply to our divine source of love. And whatever that is for you, don't be afraid to declare it. Declare it. And if the Ho'oponopono words help you do that in a very simple way, how fantastic is that to have 4 phrases that immediately remind you how divine you are. I'm sorry. Forgive me. I love you. I'm grateful. Thank you all for joining me today on Sacred Soulful Sundays.
Namaste.
Namaste.
Namaste. Have a wonderful day, everybody.
Love you all.
Thank you.
So nice seeing everybody.
Yay!
Thank you, B.
Besitos.
Thank you, B.
Love you, Maribel.
Thank you, my loves.
Bye, guys.
See you this week. See you this week at the new moon, hopefully. Love you. Bye.
Besitos. Love you.
Bye.
Bye, loves.